Hello, this is William McKissock with Scully Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, we do expense reduction at Scully Mitchell, but we love to post things on social media and support other businesses for free. It's our way of giving back to the community. And today I have with me Anjali Gill, and she is with Compass Real Estate, one of the best real estate companies in America, I believe number one. And welcome to the show, Anjali.
Thank you so much for having me, William.
Anjali, tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are and how you get into the real estate world.
Wow. How many hours do we have? Well, the long and short of it is that um, I think real estate comes very naturally to me in the long run because I have lived in 27 homes across 10 cities in three countries across two continents.
Wow.
Yeah. So you could say I know a thing or two about real estate. But but as with most realtors, I did not want to be a realtor when I was a kid. I actually wanted to be a profiler. I wanted to be in a therapist and a profiler. But that's how life happens. So I did my MBA in marketing and brand management, and I ran advertising agencies in the Middle East. I was in India in the ad agency and then went to the Middle East, ran an agency there, and then moved here. And sort of a little later in life, that's when I got into real estate, and I love it.
So how long have you been with Compass?
With Compass, I'm pretty new to them, just about 6 months. Prior to that, I was with Keller Williams.
Tell us a little bit more about your real estate. It's like what kind of properties do you sell? Because people go into commercial, residential. Some people go real expensive, the less expensive. So what part of the real estate world do you operate in?
Well, I love residential. I can do commercial and residential, but I prefer the residential bit purely because I love helping people. Now, I know that may sound cliched or gimmicky or whatever, but genuinely, I love helping people. And you can't really do that too much in commercial. It's more of a business transaction there. Here, I'm helping people every day find a home that they're going to call theirs forever. Like it's a completely different experience. Just the other day, in fact, 2 weeks ago, I had a client invite my husband and me for dinner to their home because they wanted to show me how beautifully they'd done their home up. And remember, you suggested this, so we put this here and we moved that and we painted this. And oh my gosh, it made me so happy. That is what I love about real estate.
So the type of people that you're working with, is it like families, is it individuals? What kind of who's your normal customer?
Most often it's families, but I've helped all kinds of people, lots of bachelors. I've helped people that are looking to upsize their homes, when they get married and then they have a kid and or kids and they want to upsize. I've worked with people who've retired or retiring and want to downsize.
Hmm.
Um, I've I've done about every price range there is, right from the 200s to the 2 million,
Yeah.
everything in between. I've done waterfront properties. I've, sold in Beach Park in South Tampa. I've done all the way down to St. Pete, Wesley Chapel, like all over. So it's a wherever people need help.
Fantastic. So if you're looking for a fantastic real estate agent, you can see Angeli's information underneath her portion of the video. Whether you're single, whether you're married, whatever your situation is, you have a family, she can help you find the perfect home for your needs. So you talked about Tampa Bay and you've helped people all over Tampa Bay. Are you licensed in Tampa Bay, Florida, other parts of the country? How does that piece work for your particular license?
So I'm licensed in Florida. But I really believe to serve your clients well, you need to know the market.
Hmm.
You really need to know the neighborhoods, etc. So I stick to just a few counties: Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Hernan, kind of a little bit of Hernando, Polk.
Hmm.
So you say, where we frequent these places. So I can sell. I have sold in Orlando, which was just for a friend of mine. So I did it for them, but I prefer not traveling that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite impressive because it means that you know the market, you know the people there, you know the needs there, you know the situation of living in those particular areas. So, How do you go about picking the right property for somebody? Assuming you have software and you've got lots of backup behind you with your company, how does that all work?
Yes, that is the most important part, what we call the buyer consult. When you if we're talking about helping someone buy a home, the buyer consult is the most critical part because, as I always say, I'd rather ask you 20 questions and show you 5 houses than ask you 5 questions and show you 20 houses.
Hmm.
So the more we talk, the more I understand your needs and the more I can, narrow down the focus. And actually, the most interesting part is when you have a couple that come and they want to buy a house. And if you put both of them in a different room and you say, okay, you go into this room and you give me your top 5 needs and you give me your top 5 needs, and then you bring them in together, may have one thing in common or two. So normally it's, you've got to, that's where we come in to try and get that gap narrowed and narrow in not just what they want from a house, but also which area would best suit them. So do they have school age kids? Then you've got to look at, the school district that fits their needs best. Or are they into outdoor activities? Then you can take them closer to the coastline and where they want a house where they can take their boat out. Like I've got this condo right now which is in Treasure Island, which comes with its own boat ramp and everything, so you boat dock, you can dock your boat there. So that would be an Airbnb. So okay, you want to just make an investment, I'd take you to that. If
Hmm.
you want to look, so it really depends on what the people want from it, and then from there you narrow it down, because it's a home is so much more than, okay, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many square foot. No, my job is to find a lifestyle fit for people,
Yeah.
not just a square footage fit. I mean, anyone can do that, but what separates a good realtor from a realtor that really cares and wants to make a difference is finding that lifestyle fit for them, a place that they might find and need to grow out of in a few years, but a place that they would genuinely enjoy calling home for a while.
Yeah, it's obvious that you really get it, the personal touch, people's needs. You take that above and beyond what they actually think they need. You get to know what they need, and then you can actually help them decide. Here's what you're telling me. Here's what you need, and then they go, "Oh, right, I didn't even think of that. That you're right. That's what I need." Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely, absolutely. Very often people wouldn't have really gone into details because maybe they're relocating from another city. So they're like, oh, I want a house in this place. Okay, so why do you want that house? Oh, because my friend lives there. Okay, does your friend have kids in the same school age as yours? No. Well, that is not a really great school district unless you want to send your kids to only a private school, or things like that. Or, oh, that house looks lovely, but did you notice it has a train track right behind it that might be just a little bit noisy and inconvenient?
Yeah, yeah.
So, there are all kinds of different little things that go into it. And there is no one size fits all or one budget. So it's really about getting them, and that's the important thing, getting them pre-qualified if they're doing a finance loan, so that we know realistically what what's the range you're playing within.
Hmm.
Because it's surprise, most people get surprised. It might be more than they think, it might be less than they think. But the important thing is to know what you're starting off with. So you have your goals clear. What you want from the house, what is the budget, what is the time frame, all of that matters.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As a final thought, as a final question, obviously you bring an amazing company to the table that supports you, and you bring just you and all your amazing techniques and how you do it and the wonderful way you do it. What makes Compass the number one company in the United States for the last 4 years? Obviously, you went from Keller Williams to Compass, and there must have been something in that company that attracted you because you want to help your clients more. So obviously, Compass brings something more to the table that you didn't have before. What did they have that's different?
I loved Keller Williams. I love it still. It was a fabulous company, and it was a hard decision to leave. But Compass is okay. It started by a very young person, Robert Refkin. So his mindset is very different. It's a very young, tech-savvy mindset. So we are on the cutting edge of all technology
Mhm.
in the real estate industry. And the real estate world is a little lagging behind when it comes to technology,
Yeah,
slightly archaic. So this gives me what I really want.
yeah.
We have a fabulous platform, which is something that no one else has, where as a client, you can see exactly what's going on. It's complete transparency. There's no, okay, I'll send you an email and update you. I'll send a text. Everything is there real time. And we have so many programs that are beneficial for the client customers, but oh my gosh, that's a whole other, I can do a whole other a 1 hour series on that.
Fantastic. I wanted to hear a little bit more about the company and why you're there. So, Anjali, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's an absolute pleasure. It's wonderful to talk to you in general because you're such a bubbly, wonderful person. So, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. It was such a pleasure being here. And hey, if there's anyone out there who's watching this and I can be of help, it would be my pleasure, whether it's buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
Thank
Hope
you
to
very
be
much.
soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, William. Take care.
I will now hand it over to Dave for the weather. Thank you very much.